You want to support Roland Martin Unfiltered? Be sure to join our Bring the Funk fan club. Every dollar that you give to us supports our daily digital show. There's only one daily digital show out here that keeps it black and keep it real. As Roland Martin Unfiltered. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered daily digital show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. You can make this possible. Folks, Donald Trump has no clue what the hell he is doing, and the folks who want to see him bounce out of the White House, they're making it perfectly clear they're going to be aggressive and going after him. Over the weekend, a new batch of online ads making it perfectly clear about the incompetence of this administration was laid to bear. Watch this.
I'm going to be working for you. I'm not going to have time to go play golf. Believe me.
You may ask about the coronavirus, which is very well under control in our country.
We all love golf. There are times to play and there are times that you can't play. It sends the wrong signal. When you're president, you sort of say, I'm going to sort of give it up for a couple of years.
We're going to lose 75, 80 to 100,000 people. They're running into death. I see that with the doctors and the nurses. It's a beautiful thing to see.
Time to grow up, time to wake up.
Look at us today. Where we are today, you will be. We are your future.
You don't make the timeline. The virus makes the timeline.
Coronavirus should not stop citizens from casting their ballots.
There is a safe way to vote, and that is to vote by mail.
$400 million for elections. We need much more so that we can have more vote by mail.
I think Democrats have to demand that vote by mail is in the next stimulus bill and make that a condition of supporting the bill.
Making it easier for people to vote from home.
At the state level, voters should be pushing for their state legislatures and their governors to do this.
It has to actually start happening right now.
I would not advise someone I love to go sit in a polling place for 10, 12 hours and come into contact with hundreds of people.
In the middle of the pandemic, American voters are not going to be forced between their health or voting.
They had things, levels of voting that if you ever agreed to it, you'd never have a Republican elected in this country again.
When we win on November 8th, we will be able to immediately repeal and replace Obamacare. My first day in office, I'm going to ask Congress to put a bill on my desk.
I hope we're going to surprise you with a really good plan.
You can end up with great health care for a fraction of the price, and that's going to take place immediately after we go in, okay? Immediately. On my first day, you're going to be very proud of what we put forth having to do with health care.
I know that we're all going to make a deal on health care. That's such an easy one.
Form a really great plan.
You've been in office 3.5 years. You don't have a plan.
Well, we haven't had... excuse me. You heard me yesterday. We're signing a health care plan within 2 weeks. A full and complete health care plan.
I've been saying this for a long time.
What's going on with the debt?
It's very disturbing, and it's driven by the three big entitlement programs that are very popular: Medicare, Social Security, and Medicaid.
Social Security has nothing to do with the deficit. Social Security is totally funded by the payroll tax levied on employer and employee.
That's 70% of what we spend every year. The subject we were just discussing, the funding of the government, is about 30% of what we spend.
If you reduce the outgo of Social Security, that money would not go into the general fund to reduce a deficit. It would go into the Social Security Trust Fund. So Social Security has nothing to do with balancing a budget or erasing or lowering the deficit.
Don Winslow explains how it really works.
To end chain migration. Ending chain migration. Chain migration. Chain migration. Chain migration.
At the same time Donald Trump was spewing all this hate, he was using a high-powered lawyer and chain migration to bring his wife Melania's mother, father, and sister to the United States, where his money bought their citizenship.
Citizenship was just awarded to Victor and my canals.
Here's how it works. At the same time plagiarizing plastic First Lady Melania Trump had kids pulled from their cages for this staged photo op, her family was living lavishly in the United States under permanent resident status. But that's mainly just for rich white people. If you're Mexican, you don't get to live in a fancy New York apartment while you wait. Donald Trump makes you wait in a cage. The world's most successful liar couldn't have his future wife be in the United States illegally, so he spent the big bucks to get Melania an Einstein visa.
Don't you think in any way that it's hypocritical that his wife got to stay in the country with an EB-1 visa, the so-called Einstein visa?
Not at all, Stephen. I know physics.
Now, the EB-1 is reserved for immigrants with extraordinary ability. And when you think of extraordinary ability, you don't exactly think of Melania. But Trump didn't care. He just wanted it done. Meet Michael Wilds, the high-powered lawyer who helped secure U.S. citizenship for Melania Trump and her parents Victor and Amaya Knott, and a green card for her sister Ines. See, when Melania became a citizen in 2006, it gave her the right to sponsor her parents and sisters, hence the name chain migration. Trump destroyed families and sold a closed border policy to his base while using chain migration to bring in his own family. At the same time, the Department of Homeland Security were ripping children from their mother's arms and locking them in cages, Melania's family was walking out of court with a personal security escort of Department of Homeland Security officers. Note the patches on the uniform. Donald Trump has one policy for white people and another for brown.
I met with the Border Patrol agents, and they're doing a great job.
Okay, stop the music. There are still thousands of children locked up in Trump's border prisons. There are children that have not seen their parents in years. How long can Trump keep them in prison? Do they get out when they're 18? Do they spend their entire childhood in a cage? Do they ever get out? Do they ever get out?
All right, let's go discuss with our panel. Eugene Craig, CEO, the Eugene Craig Organization, as well as Tiffany Lofton, Director of the NAACP Youth and College Division. Later we'll be joined by Amisha Cross, political analyst and Democratic strategist. I must say, Eugene, between Lincoln Project, Don Winslow, all these other different groups, what they're laying bare exactly the lies of Donald Trump, showing him playing golf. And then that chain migration video was on point because for a guy who complains about chain migration, he did it.
Yeah, he did. I mean, he used it to, get his wife here. He used it to get his wife's family here, and God knows who else. But his slurs against chain migration, the way he's characterized it, the way he used it as a fear tactic for white conservatives, is completely hypocritical to the way that he's used it for his own family. But, these are the type of ads that you have to hit him on. You cannot play presidential politics with Donald Trump. He's not a typical candidate that, oh my gosh, needs to stay clean and stay above the fray with. No, he's a thug. And when you have a thug, you have to punch him in the mouth.
And that is the real issue here, Tiffany. Not only that, when you see him complaining about mail-in voting, him and about 20 other people in the White House, they voted by mail-in. And so what these ads are meant to show is a hypocrisy. But here's what's very interesting even about that. All these dumb MAGA people, Republicans always led in mail-in balloting, in mail-in voting, absentee balloting. Now these people are going, oh, Don doesn't trust it. Neither do we. Now you got Republicans in states who are like, yo, don't do this. This is how it always helped us.
Yeah. And so let's be very clear. There is a strategy behind the madness. It's not just madness because he doesn't know what he's doing. I am really hoping, Roland, that these videos, that these commercials not only help clarify the reason why folks would make the decisions that they're going to make in the polls on November 3rd, but it is our responsibility as Black folks to make sure that we share this with the other Black folks in our communities and the other white folks in neighboring communities so that they can understand the hypocrisy and the shame that comes out of the White House. I am most concerned that when we get videos like this, those videos are sent to audiences of people who are already on the side of justice, who are already on the side of understanding that politics should not be invaded by private corporation money, and are already on the side of Donald Trump is a racist. And so if we're going to actually move anything with these videos, it's not just us saying, yep, they're right. Yep, we understand. Yep, know about that. Yep, that's unfair. He did it. But making sure that we share that to his base and his audience, that's what's going to upset him, and that's what's going to scare and move the election.
Well, the thing here, Eugene, is that I don't assume everybody who sees these videos already don't like Donald Trump. I think the way you keep pounding, you're reaching people on Twitter, on Instagram, on Facebook, on TikTok. People are sharing it. And so that's how you counter the nonsense coming from Donald Trump.
Yeah, I agree 100% with you. It has to be a constant pounding, a constant reminder. I think the best thing that Donald Trump could have did to help Joe Biden's campaign was threaten to ban TikTok. You want to activate Gen Z, who's already, holding police accountable, holding their creepy family members accountable, holding governments accountable. You want to make sure they turn out and vote and cure their apathy. Go ahead and ban TikTok. Please do. Because, now they will have personally, at a very young age, been affected by the Donald Trump administration in a way that's very tangible to them. And so you want to make sure they turn out vote. Yes, ban TikTok, ban their way of communicating, and watch you see the greatest turnout of young voters ever.
And that is the key, because, again, if you have voters out there who are not getting their information, Tiffany, from traditional news outlets, they're not watching NBC, CBS, ABC, they're not watching cable news. I can tell you right here, when we launched this show, September 2018, we did a total of 9.3 million views the first month. Last month, we did 30 million views. And so you reach the ability to be able to reach a whole different audience. That's really why these videos are so powerful.
And that's what I said earlier. We need to make sure that our responsibility is to share that and move that across our platforms on social media. Let me tell you something. I work at the NAACP with people who are 25 years and younger, who are Black in this country, and their primary source of news is not MSNBC and CNN and Fox News and ABC and et cetera. They're looking at their phone every single morning and every single day to find out what's happening across the country and to follow trusted sources that help them understand the information that's happening so quickly in politics. And so, like, for example, the NAACP Youth and College Division has partnered with Politicking the app. It's a Black-owned, nonpartisan voter guide. We're sharing that on social media. And if we're going to continue to educate the voters and the audience of people that you guys are talking about, which are folks in my demographic and Generation Z, we have to share it on social media, and we have to be able to share it with people who are not like-minded with us.
All right, folks, back to our Roland Martin Unfiltered video in just one moment.
It's time to be smart. When we control our institutions, we win. This is the most important news show on television of any racial background. Y'all put $2, $3, $4, $5, $10, $15, $20, $30 on this and keep this going. What you've done, Roland, since this crisis came out in full bloom. Anybody watching this, tell your friends. Go back and look at the last 2 weeks, especially of Roland Martin Unfiltered. Hell, go back and look at the last 2 days. You've had sitting United States senators today, Klobuchar and Harris. Whatever you have you can bring to Roland Martin Unfiltered to support it, please do, because this information may literally save your life.
Watch Roland Martin Unfiltered daily at 6 p.m. Eastern on YouTube, Facebook, or Periscope, or go to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Support the Roland Martin Unfiltered Daily Digital Show by going to RolandMartinUnfiltered.com. Our goal is to get 20,000 of our fans contributing $50 each for the whole year. You can make this possible. RolandMartinUnfiltered.com.